I may have found scientific proof that Tupac is the greatest rapper that ever lived. What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Gang, listen, I'm not going to say scientific proof, even though that's what I said. I think when you judge hip-hop for what it is and what you've seen it to be, if you started this hip-hop thing in the beginning of it like I did, and you know what a hip-hop artist is supposed to represent and what they're supposed to stand for, and then you look at the level of that artist, and you could take your top 10, you could take your top 20, top 50, and you can judge them how much impact they had in this business, how much impact they had in the world. And I find a real hard challenge. And you're going to say lyrically, okay, this guy, Nas spits better than Pac, or Redman spits better than Tupac, but Big Pun spits better than Tupac. A rapper is more about the actual lyrical content. It's a lot that goes into being a rapper. And I'll be the first to tell you, when we were younger and Tupac first came out, I'm talking about first came out, like Off the Humpty Dance, right around that time he dropped They Got Me Trapped and all that. We was not that impressed with Tupac lyrically. I'm just going to be honest. Dudes, the backpack dudes, I guess that was putting pen to pad, lyrically writing, trying to just double entendres and all these metaphors and similes and all, whatever you want to call it, that was just bars. We just bar. We like bars. We like that Wu-Tang stuff. We like that Method Man. We like that we like that Nas stuff. We like that Redman stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just like those bars that just make you go, whoa, just make you stop and be like, yo, right? And when Cannabis first came in the game, Cannabis was just barring it up. He was taking hip hop to other levels. Tupac never did none of that. As a matter of fact, Tupac was as basic as it come. Tupac was almost elementary to a degree. Let's just be honest. But what happened was Tupac is a very inspiring rapper. He's a creative rapper. And what Tupac would do, in his voice, you can feel the inflection. So he could take the most basic of lines, right, and make you feel that line. And you knew exactly what he was saying. It was a lot of hopelessness and hope at the same time. It was despair. It was tragedy. It was a lot of things that you had to just be from that life. It came to you. You felt it. You understood him. It wasn't a whole lot of lyrical miracle stuff, but it was real stuff. And a lot of people resonated to Pac. And as an MC, you got to have certain things that you can do. Certain people are disqualified from being the greatest just because they can't do certain things or refuse to, right? It's certain rappers that will never go quote unquote deep. Never. It's certain rappers that are super great, right? Like for years, LL Cool J, I don't know if LL Cool J ever had a deep record. Let's just be honest. LL's top 5 rapper, top 10 rapper all time. Anybody list, you can't say he's not, right? LL Cool J, even Big Daddy Kane, he went deep here and there. Big Daddy Kane had his deep records, but to a degree, certain rappers didn't go deep. Tupac could go very deep, right? And Tupac could rap about any subject. This is what makes Tupac one of the greatest rappers alive, because he understood the game on an entertainment level. He understood that it was entertainment at the first and foremost. Hip hop has to be socially conscious. A lot of rappers don't understand that. Tupac was more socially conscious than most rappers. And at the same time, Tupac had to be, for lack of a better word, ghetto. He had to be hood. He turned that thug life into a plus. At one point, being a thug was like you were just some dummy. Like, why would anybody walk around calling themselves a thug? How many people was saying thug before, like Bone Thugs? And even Bone Thugs were still thugs. Like, they didn't change the term. When Bone Thugs came out, they was just some dudes, some thug-ass dudes that was singing. They didn't change the term. They didn't make it more socially acceptable. They didn't make it socially conscious. They was just some thugs that was singing with some shades on from out of Cleveland. So they didn't turn it. Tupac actually made that word into something bigger. And before he passed, he was working on making thug life into something that was going to change and progress into something that had a meaning, right? I forgot the acronym, what he broke it down, but it had a meaning, right? You not only had to be socially conscious and you had to be a little bit of hood too at the same time. You had to be smart. And Tupac was smart. But you also, a real rapper, how KRS once say, you can't be a soft punk. Or you walk down the street and get jumped. Tupac never exuded any type of softness or not softness is the wrong word, but that for lack of a better word, right? You can have a compassionate side because he had a lot of compassion for black women and just people in general. But you have to kind of have an edge to you. There is no rapper on this earth that's going to be considered the greatest rapper of all time that don't have an edge. They always said that Nas contradicted himself, right? Tupac contradicted himself more than Nas, believe it or not. More than Nas. Because Tupac would have Brenda's Got a Baby, right? Then he come right back with, what's the joint where he's at the pool with the ladies and I Get Around. So it was like, he was all of that stuff combined, and we still got him. His detractors may say, oh, listen, here we go. Now he's at the pool, you know what I'm saying? With girls in bikinis, and last week it was Brenda's Got a Baby. But if you really understand hip-hop, all of that is a part. We're not one thing. And the rappers that tried to be one thing, like Chuck D, right? Public Enemy, some of our greatest heroes. But you cannot be one thing forever, because then in real life, you're going to let somebody down. They're not black all day. They're not this super duper fist in the air all day. They're not. They're human beings like us. They watch football, basketball. They chill out on the couch. They chill with their family. They're not trying to march and protest all single day, every single day. So you're a contradiction in and of itself. Nobody's one thing. And Tupac was not one thing. As a hip hopper, you understood that your stuff got to be for the greater people. Your stuff got to be for the greater good. Yes, it's for you, but you're not doing this just for yourself. And the rappers that didn't get that, they would never be looked at in another light. They would never be elevated because they're looking at things for their own benefit. Tupac, for every song he made about I'm a thug, he would make another song about how to get the hood together. Or speaking on social policies, right? I see no changes every single day. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like Tupac was going to give you every single element of the culture. No one had a bigger impact than Tupac. No one had a smarter catalog than Tupac, right? And no one gets more love than Tupac. There is no rapper you can name that's universally loved, right? You're going to say, well, Challz, well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Eminem sold more records than Tupac. Eminem is extremely controversial, and you can get a different opinion from 5 different people when you talk about Eminem, depending on who they are and what race they are and how long they've been listening to music. Yes, he has a huge fan base to this day. And I have no problem with Eminem. But Eminem does not get the Tupac level of love and respect in hip-hop that he should. No one gets the level of Tupac. If you grabbed, I want to say 1,000 people, right? Right now, out of those 1,000 people, you would be hard-pressed to find 100 of those thousands with a negative opinion of Tupac. I'm just going to be honest. Probably even less. So if you get 1,000 people, the positive response of Tupac going to be 90 or better percent. I'm just going to be honest. Tupac legacy has grown and it has gotten better with time. It has gotten better. Kind of like how they rewriting Muhammad Ali's history, where they're making it like Muhammad Ali was so great that they could not stand Muhammad Ali. They hated everything he stood for. That man got death threats every single day. They could not stand him. But now they're using him as the catalyst for America. At one point, he was everything wrong with America. So what happened with Tupac legacy, it has grown into something greater than him. There is no rapper. I implore you in the comments, who had a bigger catalog than Tupac? Who gets more respect worldwide than Tupac? In every hood, you're going to find somebody with a Tupac shirt. Right? Every single hood. That's just like with Jay-Z and Nas. You're going to get divided. Nas going to get a lot of love. Don't get me wrong. He's not getting Tupac love. And that's part of being an MC. How much impact did you have on the world? In the world stage, how much impact does Tupac have in the world stage? No one has more impact than Tupac, not one. Not no Biggie, not no Snoop, right? Not no 50 Cent, no one. And every time you say that somebody's the next Tupac, what happens? The world goes insane. Remember they try to say the Baby was the next Tupac? Anytime you say somebody's the next Tupac, you get immediately slapped down and trampled on. I even got a video where I was saying, well, the Baby for this era is the next Tupac. No, he's not. There is no next Tupac. There is no one on Tupac's level. There would never be. No one. You have to be raised by Black Panthers. You know what I'm saying? You have to be in a school for public. You have to be in a school for arts, right? And you have to do some of the greatest transformations in your life. You have to go to prison. It's too many things you got to do. You got to get shot. You got to be homeless. You got to have a lot of stuff going on to make you into that person and still be who you are. It ain't a lot of people that can do that and still walk around with a smile on your face, still trying to change the world, doing 100 records a month. Like, I may be lowballing. Tupac was doing records every day. No one had his work ethic. So this man, actually, I don't see how you could say, get in the comments, tell me who is a greater rapper, overall rapper. I'm not talking about bars, bar for bar. No, overall rapper in the world today, from time Tupac was born to the time he died to right now. Tupac died, what, 30 years ago? We still ain't seen nothing like Tupac. There's no one even close. KRS-One, Biz Markie, name them. Raekwon, name them. Ghostface, whoever you want to put there. Black Moon, whoever, right? Put them up. Lox, Jadakiss, no one. No one. There is no rapper, overall rapper, better than Tupac. I challenge you. I challenge you. So I believe scientifically, Tupac is the greatest rapper that ever walked the face of the earth. And I'm going to leave it at that. CLBMG. Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.